Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas and welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. And we are really excited today because we are here to talk about the third Hallmark Christmas movie of the 2025 season. We're talking about Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper. It's one all the Hallmarkies were really looking forward to, and we're going to have really fun coverage of this fun movie. And I am film critic Rachel Wagner. Mary Richards is here.
Hello.
And today we're very excited. We have a very special guest with us. Since this movie is about Ted Cooper, amazing weatherman, we have with us a weatherman. We've got Matt Johnson, meteorologist, KSL. Matt, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, of course. Kind of fun. Fun to watch a movie that kind of showcased the love life of a meteorologist.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you have better luck than poor Ted Cooper.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to, not break any limbs or kiss. Well, kissing live on TV is not a. I guess could be an issue, could not.
Yeah. So this is your first time on the podcast. Why don't you introduce yourself to the listeners? Tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
Yeah. So my name is Matt Johnson. I'm a meteorologist for KSL. Weather geek. Love snow. I love lake effect snow in particular. And I'm originally from, I grew up in California. And so one of the things that really got me into weather was clouds, but also seeing snow for the first time. So my grandmother lived here in Spanish Fork, and we'd visit in the summers, but occasionally we'd come in the winter. And at 9 years old, I saw snowflakes fly for the first time in Spanish Fork. And I just was like, this is frozen rain. This is cool. So that's a little bit about me.
So how do you, what is your educational background to become a weatherman? Do you go more journalism or more science, or how do you do that?
So well, you're supposed to do both, right? But I did more of the science. I did atmospheric sciences, or for short, meteorology. And I went to the U. But before I got to the U, I had to do a lot of math, and I didn't know this going into the career. And so basically I had to tread water for 3 years at UVU trying to get my math up to par so that I could even declare a bachelor's in meteorology.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a full major.
Oh yeah.
It's a 4-year.
Oh, cool.
So, and the cool thing about Matt for our national listeners is here in Salt Lake City, he's a meteorologist on the TV and radio, but then he's also doing a lot on the noon show. And so you're kind of called to do a lot more than maybe you thought you would in the beginning in terms of forecasting, right?
Yeah. Kind of touching base on all communication mediums there. So it's all platforms, I should say, even social media. So it's kind of
that's true.
That's true. You've got a lot of followers on social media, and I love to always. My daughter checks the weather every morning, and she wants to know what to plan for her day. And so, thank you for all you do for us, Matt.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
Is it hard to get used to the green screen doing because it's all in like reverse? You have to flip it where you're pointing to and everything what we see. Is it hard to get used to that?
Yeah, it's kind of mirrored.
Mirrored. Yeah.
At first it was, but now it's just like second nature, like driving a car. But at first I do remember it being a little frustrating because you're kind of, you're kind of guessing where your hand's at, and where the objects are that you're trying to point at. But after a while, it becomes second nature.
So before Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper, had you seen any Hallmark movies?
Yes, my wife and her family loves Hallmark.
Yes.
So,
good.
I'm trying to think of some of the recent ones. What was the one with the Chiefs? The big Chiefs fan.
A holiday touchdown, or
yes,
something like that. I love.
Yeah, Mary was on our recap for that movie.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
Okay, so I've seen some, and my grandma actually owned a Hallmark store. I know a little bit different, but she owned one in Draper back in the late 90s, early 2000s. But
I remember that store.
Yeah,
I live in Draper.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
up on by the roundabout.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, let's dive in. Let's talk about this movie. So we have Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper. This is directed by Jason Bork and writers Russell Hainline and then Robert Buckley. And it stars Kimberly Sested and Robert Buckley. And a weatherman reunites with his high school crush while on vacation in his hometown. That is a very bad summary of this movie. but, but basically, what we have is you have Ted Cooper, who has terrible luck, particularly at Christmas. And so he goes back home and he's trying to beat his bad luck. And so what's going to happen? And it is true that Kimberly Sested is his high school crush, who's now a doctor at his hometown. And overall, Mary, what did you think about this movie?
Overall, I had a great time, though I did
Mm.
feel bad in the beginning that I had asked Matt to come on because there wasn't much meteorology.
Yeah, sorry
I'm
about
like, when
It's
I when I
fine.
when we saw that, I was like, oh, there's gonna be it'll Matt will help us understand the meteorologist, and then it was like he did a little bit in the beginning, and then it was all. But overall, I had a great time with this movie. It just made me laugh. It felt like the writing was funnier and quicker and wittier than some other Hallmark movies we've
Yeah.
seen, but they still were able to fit in the tropes, you know. He went
Hmm.
hunting, he went for a Christmas tree, he helped decorate, and all that is the cozy
Hmm.
vibes were there as well. And it was really fun.
Yeah. And we did have an interview with Russell Hainline, the writer. So if y'all missed that, you want to make sure to listen to that episode because he is definitely one of their hottest writing talents right now. He is just hitting everything out of the park right now with his writing. And this, I would agree with you on this. It is really strong, very funny. I don't know if the chemistry was like incredible for me between these two, but it still was very entertaining and a lot of fun to watch. I mean, what did you think, Matt, of the movie overall?
I thought it was a classic Hallmark, right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah, yeah,
goes home, finds the old crush. I thought they put in some pretty relatable, like kind of funny, innocent moments, right? Where he opens up they're looking through his yearbook, I believe, and there's a heart around her, right?
yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
and so it kind of I love that they kind of hit on that naturally occurring stuff that kind of drew back on the history of it wasn't really a relationship back then, but kind of digging into his mind and his heart a little bit before
Yeah.
it kind of helped you understand why he was so nervous around her and why it was such a big deal. But it turns out she was a little nervous herself, and so
I mean, the biggest leap with this movie is that you have to buy that girls would really be so turned off by nerdy Robert Buckley. I think there would be plenty of teenagers who would be pretty excited
yeah.
to go out with nerdy Robert Buckley. So that's the biggest leap that you have to, but it's, I guess it's believable because it's not necessarily that those girls would even actually have been turned off by him. It's that he didn't believe it. It was
Oh.
his lack
Right.
of confidence that caused everything. So that makes it more believable. But still, I don't think he would have too hard a time getting a girlfriend.
He
Yeah.
was so easygoing and just
Yeah.
so he was a golden retriever. Isn't that what they
Yeah.
call him? That
Yeah.
personality.
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
I think that my favorite part of this movie was the whole betting pool, office pool about his bad luck. That was really funny. Every time they would go back to that, it was hilarious. And he's thinking a beautiful woman is less likely than getting impaled by a reindeer.
Oh yeah.
My gosh.
They weren't very nice to him. And then this is funny because the anchor is Brendan Penny, who's a usually nice actor in lots of Christmas movies and really funny, but in this case he's kind of playing that like little mean. And I've never seen this on KSL TV, Matt, but this idea of sometimes this kind of like angst or tension between a reporter, a live shot, or a weather or meteorologist and the anchor desk. That we don't
want to get you into trouble, but
you know,
right? Yeah. No, that was a part where being an actual on-air talent was pretty far-fetched. I think but I think they were just trying to. It was clearly over-exaggerated, right? Even for someone who isn't even working in the industry. But definitely you would definitely be pulled from on-air if you were kind of having that level of, like you said, angst or tension with someone, and it's, you're trying to keep it friendly and light because you're trying to attract as many viewers as you can from all walks of life. And if you're kind of having that, it's but it's movie production. It's fine. I think most people caught on. So.
Okay, we'll allow it because it was a movie. But you're right. All I see is like some between the on-air talent, at least when I watch it, just seems a lot more of this friendly. You want the other person to do well, you want your show to do well. But it was funny because it made me think of, like, is it Bruce Almighty or Evan Almighty when there's some of that as well with the on-air.
That is. That's true. That's
movie laughs.
Good comparison. Or even if you look back at like Mary Tyler Moore show, which was so hilarious, and the banter between like Ted Baxter and Lou and some of these other, like, it kind of captures that dynamic, I think. Or even Murphy Brown, that would be another one. That had some of those. Or Frasier. There's been a lot of actually like show more on television, I think, than on in the movies. But yeah, it was a very funny dynamic, but also I'm sure not particularly realistic. I would hope so. I would hope that you wouldn't have people that were betting on your
bets in the newsroom on your demise.
How are you going to get injured over the holidays?
It's so funny how some of them came true.
Yeah.
But, I was like, well,
that's karma. You send out those vibes, then
they manifested it for Ted.
Right, manifest. Yeah. I mean, but these days in journalism, like, everybody has to kind of be everything and do everything, where, like, I know a lot of my friends who at one point they could have just been a movie critic, for instance, but now they've got to be an entertainment reporter. They've got to do interviews. They've got to do all this kinds of things. And so we can kind of see that with Ted Cooper. He's got to, go up and do this remote, do this coverage and that kind of a thing. I mean, I would think that would be something that you both could, connect with.
Yeah.
Matt,
in my radio days, but Matt more with TV. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the quotes of understanding the grind of a meteorologist, or trying to date as a grind of a meteorologist. That's a real thing. And it's funny too, because I actually and I don't know if we were going to talk about this later, but I actually found my wife, or she found me, via television. So
really?
My love life actually evolved from her seeing me on TV and then reaching out on Instagram, actually.
Oh.
And it was, I wouldn't necessarily say it was easy, right? For her to get used to me working, because I work the morning show. So I wake up at 3 a.m. I'm at the studio in downtown by 4 a.m.
That would be
You know,
hard.
the show goes till 7 a.m. When I go to bed at night, I'm going to bed at 7, you know,
Yeah.
and she's getting off work at 5. So we have this small window of time
That's
to
hard.
yeah, to try to cultivate a relationship with someone like with that small window of time is like
Mhm.
pretty difficult. So I really related with him on that.
Yeah.
Granted, they didn't showcase that a ton, but they kind of did, right? He's like, "Oh, I got a promo, and then I got another one after that," you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, totally relatable that quote of his that it's a grind and it's it can take a toll on social life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be hard to never be able to do anything sort of later in the evening,
Yeah.
Right, when
a lot of
everyone's
stuff.
hanging out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that was me. When I started at KSL Radio, I was working the morning shift, and
Oh, so
yeah,
Yeah.
I know, and all that went back to me when you were talking about that with your wife, because that was me and my husband. We would go to early dinners, in the restaurants.
Yep. With
Yeah.
all the elderly,
Maybe that's why
the
Ted
60,
Cooper
70
loves this
plus.
walking group. Yeah, because they're all
Yeah.
like older. Yeah, and he's like, yeah, we have the same bedtime.
Yeah. I mean, I do love the just pure positive optimism of Ted Cooper. Kind of reminds you of like some of the Will Ferrell performances, where it just sort of that sort of blind optimism, like an Elf, for instance, is kind
Yeah.
of that sort of a feeling. It's very, very appealing and fun to watch. It makes it very easy to root for the character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think they did a good job of having that element within the show, within his character, but also they weren't shying away from the reality of her being questioning that about him,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that's a real thing. I've actually encountered that before I met my wife in the dating field, and
Yeah.
it's they did a good job of showing it and being optimistic, and that's the Hallmark trademark, right? Is that these are very uplifting, positive movies, but then they also kind of found that happy medium of being realistic with it, of her kind of
Mm-hmm.
questioning that, and that was cool. I thought they balanced that dynamic.
Yeah, because he even accepts things to the point of being detrimental to his own health. Like he eats the cookie and it's just standing there when it's like, no, you gotta like spit it out. Like if you're allergic to peanuts, that's one of the most,
Yeah.
perilous, one of the most serious allergies that you can have. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna get a tummy ache. Like that's a big deal if you're allergic to peanuts. and, but yeah, it was funny that they had Brendan Penny as the cocky anchor, because I think that Hallmark just has, like, in their Rolodex for cameos, they've just got Nell Mater and Brendan Penny, and it's like they just call
That's true. They just
they
pop up in other movies.
they
Yeah.
really do. The two of them, that was like their go-to. If you need, we already saw Brendan Penny just recently in Providence Falls playing Angel Gabriel. And so he's busy. The man is busy. So, thanks. But he was very funny. And I've been warming up to Brendan Penny as far as his acting. But he sometimes comes off as sort of cocky. Like I have a hard time sort of loving him as the lead. So, but this was actually like perfect because he could sell that sort of a little bit smug
Yeah.
as this anchor. So that was a lot of fun. And really anytime they would go back to the betting pool in the office, it made me laugh.
Yeah. For sure.
So he gets up there and he gets the wrong suitcase, gets suitcase swapped. And that was a pretty funny continuing gag, is him wearing all of these pink and not fitting clothes. And that was a good gag, I thought, that they did.
The crop top.
Yes.
Crop top sweater.
And immediately he is knocked out trying to change lights, put on lights. And I'm like, that was a risky. I don't know if I would have been climbing ladders if I'm Ted Cooper.
Yeah.
Knowing his what's the word, propensity to have accidents. Yeah. Get somebody else, hire that out.
But they need to do that because he needs a reason to be to go to the doctors
for our meet cute.
Our meet cute. Yeah. Kimberly Sussed is his doctor, and they were high school friends, but he was the nerd, and she gives him a sucker. I only give lollipops to the really brave patients.
That was cute.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was really brave, wasn't I?
And then he gets injured again somehow, right? Or has to come back. And
well, yeah, because then he goes to help his teacher get a Christmas tree, and he gets popped in the eye.
Oh yeah, so he's back. Yeah.
It has to wear an eye patch. I think that was on the list of the pool.
That he's wearing an eye patch on TV. Oh yeah,
I think so. But yeah, I mean, you could probably take it off just for doing the broadcast, but
yeah.
But he's hardcore. I'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the good folks over at Uncommon Goods. Uncommon Goods makes holiday shopping stress-free and joyful with thousands of one-of-a-kind gifts you can't find anywhere else. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. Many are crafted by independent artists and small businesses, and because they're made in small batches, the best finds can sell out fast. So I recently placed an order with Uncommon Goods, and I got a robe that has hummingbirds on it, which is really, really cute. And then I got a savory and spicy maple sauce sampler. And so this has maple syrup that's flavoring barbecue sauces and sriracha and hot sauce and things like that. So a lot of fun, unique flavors. And so you can see that you can get a very wide variety of items. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So shop early, have fun, and cross some names off your list today. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/hallmarkies. That's uncommongoods.com/hallmarkies for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. I loved the Step Ladies. That was really fun.
Oh, the walking group.
Yeah. That was really fun.
They got them the fit.
Yes.
That was funny.
Some of the best lines I think were around that, like these folks that look like retired, what do they call them? Oh, he sees them and he goes, "Is there a modeling convention in town?"
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah.
Working the ladies.
Like I said, Ted was super likable. You were rooting for him. It's kind of like following Truman and Truman Show. Like he's just so positive, and so you want him to be happy in the end.
Absolutely.
And, so go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think they did a good job from obviously from a female standpoint or female's viewpoint. When you see a guy like Ted Cooper, successful, right, on air, I'd say I'm a guy, but I'm not blind. He's an attractive guy, right?
Absolutely.
But he's not overly arrogant like the anchor, like you were saying. And so I think that drew in a lot of the female audience to his character, right? Where it's like, oh, that's kind of like the unicorn guy. He's attractive, successful, tall, et cetera, but he's not full of himself. He gets along, with the elderly. He's cute with charisma, and so I thought they did a good job of making his character really drawing in the female crowd, obviously, right? Yeah. With that
he really is a dreamboat in this movie. Like you're right. Because he is so likable, he's so sweet, but obviously still so attractive. So he's got it all. And he's struggling because he got this job offer in Buffalo, and he's like, I don't know if I should take this job because they were so good to me at the current job. I feel loyalty to them, and I'm sure that I mean, I've been self-employed pretty much most of my adult life, so I can't relate to that, but I would think that that would be challenging if you built the relationships. Plus, it's just like would be scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and there's nuances there that I don't know if it was necessary because it might have bogged down the story, but sometimes TV talent have contracts or there are
Oh,
different,
yeah.
issues there. So it was kind of cool that his producer, he was saying, even though technically I think it's a station director that's over your employment or
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Ticky tacky. He was talking about this producer he was loyal to, who was like, no, you should, I don't know, go to Buffalo. And yeah, that idea of how a job opportunity would also bring him closer to his lady love is what we love to see in Hallmark movies too. So
Sure. Well, and I liked his relationship with his sister. That was a fun dynamic.
Oh yeah.
I thought that worked really well. And he goes to the doctors, and then he comes out, and he's using his sister's car, and he had locked his keys in the car, and so he's putting down the window, and he gets arrested by the cops for breaking and entering her car, since it was her car. And that was funny when they're like that they didn't have who had getting arrested on his
on the on
the bingo card.
But then he ends up like best friends with all the officers by the end.
Yeah.
Out, they're all, I just think, what a guy, he comes out and they're all laughing together. Oh, Ted.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of the old Frank Capra movie, Mr. Deeds. That where Gary Cooper, he plays this person who from the country who finds out that he's inherited all of this money. So he goes to the city and he has to sort of put on all these airs and be this different person. It's very charming. You should check it out. But yeah, that sort of like sweet that's those like sweet attributes that make him very, very likable. Kind of it remind me a little bit of that. And we have this is when he eats the cookie, and because not only is it an adorable little girl who gives him the cookie, and he gets a ginger snap, so he doesn't know it has peanut butter in it, but she's also deaf, and they're siding with her and everything, so it's especially sweet. But he eats it, and he's like, "Do you have an EpiPen?"
Oh my gosh. I don't know if it was necessary for her to stab him through the clothes, like all dramatic, but there could have been some, but maybe we needed to keep it G-rated, right? If she had to go into his leg, we probably don't want to be getting into that, but
good point.
Yeah. But then we have the Christmas party. And what do you think of his snowman costume? I mean, he makes a pretty good Olaf.
It worked on the dance floor because he was like using it to kind of move around. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I kept worrying about his skin because I don't know. I was like, that looks so itchy. Does he have an undershirt, please? The poor man.
Yeah.
Is it a weird thing to think about? But the whole time I'm like, that looks so like that scratchy polyester cottony wool. Blah.
Yeah.
But it was cute.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of what would be like but a little bit more of a flattering Christmas themed costume. I mean, but because even Santa, you have like a little bit of a belly, maybe like an elf, maybe
like some kind of buff elf with the tights on, I guess. I don't know.
Than that.
Yeah, that's true. They're trying to maybe think of us with watching this at Halloween time, maybe to have those.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I don't know about too many Christmas costumes besides a Santa and a elf.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you could go like if you wanted to go like the Dickens route. And
like she did,
Scrooge, or
she was Scrooge.
Oh yeah, that's right, she was. I forgot that. Yeah, but there's not much else.
Yeah.
I wonder if they chose that costume because it just I don't know. It kind of brought out his goofy, like
Yeah.
silently confident but goofy. Does that make sense? Like
Mhm.
he's not. He's like, I'm not afraid to wear this, but also, right, his nerdy, goofy, cutesy side kind of came out. He could move the belly of the snowman around and kind of dance with it, and kind of mess with her.
Yeah.
And so that was maybe they felt like it could be more interactive for him to be a snowman.
Yeah, good point.
So they find the yearbook, and he not only has Lord of the Rings quote, which I guess Russell must love Lord of the Rings. I forgot to ask him about that in the interview, but because he also quotes Lord of the Rings in the Santa Summit.
Oh, he does. The other movie
yeah,
he wrote. Yeah, that's right.
Favorite. But he was given the superlative of most likely to report the weather at a mid-range TV station.
Oh, yeah, that was a dig.
Yeah. So, Matt, I'm curious, did you have a superlative in your high school yearbook?
Gosh, that's a good question. I don't remember. But if I had to give myself one, they probably would have coined me with something like most likely to, because I didn't do very good in high school, like maybe most likely to work at a fast food restaurant.
Yeah. What
So,
about you, Mary? Did you have a superlative
Um,
book?
no, like I don't think I did. I think they forgot about me. I think
I
I was.
did. I was not at high school for my senior. I basically graduated early, so
Oh,
I did not, because my family moved after my junior year, and I was like, I'm not going to go to a new high school just for 1 year. That's stupid. And so I started college senior year,
early.
so I didn't have a superlative.
Trying to think.
I was known for being like, and maybe kind of like Ted Cooper. I was known for being like super perky and super,
Yeah,
so I would probably have something like that, most likely to smile a
yeah.
lot, or I
happiest
don't know.
happiest student.
Cute.
I mean,
I was pretty
I guess
shy
there's
and
worse
quiet.
things to be remembered for, right?
Yeah.
Well, and all three of us, like normal adults, aren't really kind of obsessed over our high school years, but Hallmark
Yeah.
keeps doing this kind of plot
Oh
of, oh,
yeah.
high school, high
Yeah.
school. Like,
Yeah. Especially as the actors get older and older. It'd be one thing if this was like,
they're in their
a 20,
20s, but they're in their
25-year-old actor. When your actors are 40-ish, it's increasingly hard to believe,
yeah.
you know.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, Hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies.
A funny moment and a way for her to kind of talk and talk about his lack of self-confidence being the problem. And, where he says that it would never have even occurred to me that a girl like you would like someone like me.
Yeah.
Cute. And then we've got the dance, and they says, "This is your first time dancing with a snowman? Is this your first time dancing with a Scrooge?" Weirdly, no.
Yeah.
Nice.
Weirdly, no. I know I needed a little more backstory to that. No, I was watching this with my husband, and he was totally calling things before they happened. He goes, $10 changes to a slow song right now. And then
oh wow.
Sister was like, slow song, and he's like
so he takes her they go on this date, and he takes her to Christmas themed escape room. And this was a pretty long segment, I thought, in the movie, that they were there. I have never done an escape room.
Oh,
have you done them, Matt?
Yeah, I have. That one, compared to the one I've done, that seemed elaborate, because or so it seemed, they changed rooms to get to the next level, if you will. And my escape room that I did, I've only done like one or maybe just one of them, but there was just one room and you just multiple different little thingamajiggers that you have to do, or codes that you have to find, or picture frames you have to move and keys to turn. But that seemed quite elaborate, but it gave them the opportunity for them to be isolated and get a little more cozy together.
Especially because the elf person, he forgets, he falls asleep and forgets them. So
Conveniently.
Yeah, and of course he wakes up right when they're about to kiss.
Like, I know. Oh man. The whole thing, I allowed it because I thought the writer was so funny with all of that. But if it had been done differently, I'd have been like, come on. This is so cliche.
Yeah. It almost felt like that one was a little more predictable than the doorbell ringing when they're looking at his yearbook in the living room.
Oh yeah.
That one was real. That actually felt well timed and pretty natural.
Yeah.
Have you ever done an escape room, Mary?
No, I don't know if I'd like it either, because I'd get too like bossy over the other people, or maybe I would. I don't know. I like puzzles.
It would entirely depend on who I was with.
Yeah.
Like if I was with my mom, I think we would do great. But my dad is very competitive with games, and so I would not want to be doing an escape room with my dad because he would be very. Yeah. So it would entirely depend on. I don't think I would want to do it. I feel like a date, that's a very risky date. Because what if you suck, and then if you don't do it, or someone's gonna think you're not smart.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just feel like risky.
Yeah,
date.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. So, but I did not buy that she would get so upset about a girl answering his phone, because he loses his phone in the car, and she's just like, they have no relationship. There's no reason for her to get upset. They have no
jealousy right away.
Like, why shouldn't he have a girl? Like, there's no. I don't know. I thought that was a weird moment in the script, I thought.
Yeah, and maybe she had some past relationships where the guy wasn't truthful, or she was cheated on or something, and so it triggered something there. Or maybe we just needed some more tension in this point of the clock of the movie. But for her to it's just a lot of these misunderstandings can be cleared up with a quick conversation.
Right.
And in this case, it was delayed because his phone was gone, the note blew away.
But she was acting like he had cheated on her. And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
He just had a girl answer his phone.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It could have been a coworker. It could have been anybody. And it was harmless. And that was so funny. Ted? No, I'm Ed, with the driver. So it was quickly cleared up.
I mean, Matt, how did you think about the chemistry of these two? Did you think they had good chemistry?
No, I think you hit it right on at the beginning. The chemistry I think the playwright tried to get it there, and sometimes that's just I've done a little bit of acting, I've done a little bit of film class, and sometimes just with two people, the natural chemistry, it's hard to get it there, and it was believable and it was doable.
Yeah. And it wasn't awful. It wasn't unbelievable, but it just wasn't quite the spark wasn't quite there for me.
Right. You weren't kind of submerged into this world of this is happening. I kind of felt myself coming out of it a couple of times, right? Where I'm feels off, or not as believable as we would have wanted it to be, right? Because I feel like when you watch a movie, you want to be immersed in it and feel like that's why we watch them, right? It makes you feel like you're living that out. And sometimes I would go in and out of that, right?
Yeah. How did you feel about their chemistry, Mary?
Yeah, I agree. At some points, they were just super friendly and just smiling and cute, like good friends. But other times, I did they would linger on him looking at her in a certain way. And that really helped for me to build that, because you want to root for a couple in a movie like this. You want to make sure that they're going to last. I always think about that. If there was a sequel, would they be together, or would this have been the meet cute for the boyfriend you dump for the next guy,
Yeah.
So, but there were cute moments where they were looking at each other, really sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have this big conversation that she says, "Are you happy all the time?" and don't give up what you want just to make others happy. And I can't be with someone who keeps it so surface level all the time.
Mm.
And so I don't know. Did you think that was like a fair complaint for her to have about Ted? What do you think, Mary, about that?
It almost seemed like something you would bring up as you've been dating a little longer.
Yeah, I agree.
Than like, but it made me stop and think because I was like, oh yeah, this whole movie he's been kind of is he a pushover? Is he? And he said, no, I don't bury my head in the sand. But it, it makes yourself think about the times. Are you a people pleaser or a peacekeeper or a peacemaker, or are you doing it to the detriment of yourself, or are you helping others around you because you want to be a good person?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I started doing a little self-introspection a little too much at this point in the movie.
I mean, I also really dislike conflict. I avoid it at all costs. So I can understand that, but yeah, it probably was a little is by the nature of it being a Hallmark movie, we're forced to have this conflict a little bit sooner than would naturally occur in the course of dating. But still, I think it's an interesting kind of point to bring up is that you do need to that probably shouldn't be avoiding conflict at all costs, that I probably shouldn't, that we should be willing to be that kind of vulnerable, that he says that I am chronically optimistic, but I do get sad and angry.
Yeah.
It's just like, when do you show that to the person that you're dating?
Yeah.
Hard to know. I would
Yeah,
think.
and I was like, girl, do not, this is a good guy. Don't ruin this.
Yeah.
Take it. Run with it.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think about that, Matt? About that?
No, I think you're right. I think you're right on. I think core of the audience felt like it was a little premature. If you were to, compare to real life, but granted, it's a movie. We're trying to move the time frame along, right? We're trying to be progressive with it, but yeah, but relatable in the sense that, just like you don't like someone who's always angry and has temper issues, you don't want someone who's in fairy tale land all the time and doesn't really ever, what's the word, go into depth or have any real emotion. They're just kind of la. And so,
yeah, I mean, especially if you're talking about like a real relationship, like it's one thing I have some friends that I enjoy them, but it's more on like that, like they're fun and I have a fun time with them. And we don't go to that like second level of like, which is fine. And you don't need that with every friendship that you have. But if you're talking about somebody that this needs to go to that second level.
Yeah. Will she have, like, I think about this sometimes with my husband where I'm like, I'm just going to tell you something, but other times I want you to get mad with me, Be on my side here, get a little angry for me, Yeah, let's go fight the world together. Yeah. And Ted might be like, it's fine. So maybe she wanted to know that sometimes he could like carry a rock of anger for her. Like, that's right. Let's,
Yeah.
But I loved though that her friend calls her out on it. So I thought that balanced it pretty nicely. The friend at the hospital.
From the hospital. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
She was good. And she says, stop being so stupid. You feel like everyone leaves and you need to fight for him.
Yeah.
So that balanced it out pretty well. And I really liked that friend character. She was a good side character. I liked his sister and I liked her. Those were good secondary characters.
Good to have those support.
The Swiftie.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got that. Yeah.
Yes. And I love that they not only that the old ladies that they gave him a windbreaker suit, but that he wore it. And, and Kimberly says, "Was like that's a lot of look." On.
Nice.
Because there was this movie, I think it was called Long Shot, something like that. With Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron, and it's this romantic comedy. It's an R rating, so but it was pretty good. But in the movie, he wears this hideous windbreaker, and Charlize Theron is so stunning, and he's like Seth Rogen, which is perfectly fine. But Charlize Theron, And you're just supposed to buy that. Like, it never comes up. It drove me crazy watching him. Like, how is this not a thing that he's wearing this absolutely hideous windbreaker? And that wouldn't be a joke. It's a comedy. Like, what? And so I appreciated the fact that they actually had that line. I'm like, see, they get it. The hideous windbreaker is funny.
Yeah. Drew attention to it. Yeah.
Yes.
Or else it would have just been a sore thumb and like awkwardly elephant in the room, kind of like,
Yes. Yeah. It is Long Shot. That's what the movie's called. But anyway, I thought that was funny. And I gotta hand it to Robert Buckley. He really was just willing to go for it.
Yeah.
As an actor. He was willing to do whatever he had to do for the gag to make himself look silly. And that's not always the case with Hallmark, and it's not always the case with these movies. And I appreciated that it really tried to lean into the calm in the rom-com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so then he says, I don't advocate for myself, but I will do better. And he takes the job in Buffalo. And he's like, well, the girl that I like is close by. And then they kiss and it's on live TV and everybody at the station is cheering. I got that on my poll. And so the one lady wins the poll the pool. And that's the end of the movie. But it was cute. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I would probably give this one a 4 out of 5 crowns. I think it was.
Matt,
I'd watch it again.
We go by crowns instead of stars.
Yeah.
Hallmark crowns.
Or crowns.
Nice.
But Mary, what would you give it?
Yeah, same as you. I'd watch it again. There's a lot of clever stuff I probably missed. So, and I laughed and had a great time. So it was the best of the year so far, even though we're early in. And so I'm at like 4.5 out of 5.
Mm-hmm. I think I actually liked the Angels movie a little bit more. I'm like the lone defender of that film because I just thought it was so clever. It's so creative. This whole world of the Angels and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, they're both solid. They're both solid. But Matt, what would you give it out of 5 crowns?
I'd give it a 3.5. I thought it was good. Granted, I'm not as big of a critic as you guys, but or as well versed. But definitely some moments that were maybe a little forced. But it's just the nature of trying to progress a plot within this rom-com. But I thought it was honestly, it was great. I'd watch it again.
Yeah, very good, very good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Matt, for joining us. This was a delight to have you. If we have any other weather-related movies, we have you on our Rolodex now. We've got you. So this is great. And do you have social media or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm most active on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Okay, so we'll put all of that. Just let me know those links, and we'll put in the description. And Mary, where can people follow you?
Oh, on Twitter @_Mary Richards, Instagram Mary Richards Reports, and Facebook Reporter Mary Richards.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. Also, you can listen to me right now, at least at KSL Movie Show on Friday. So that's super fun. And make sure you follow the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast all over social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. That really, really helps us a lot, especially during this time of year for people to be able to find us. The more ratings and reviews we have, 5 stars, it really, really helps the pod a lot. And if you're watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We're really trying to get to that 10K subscribers by the end of the year. That would be very exciting. And most of our viewers on YouTube aren't subscribers. So if we got some of those to subscribe, it would really help us out. So please, 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 please like and subscribe. We have our Patreon group, which is the biggest way you can support everything that we're doing. You get to be part of watch-alongs and other fun, cool bonuses. And we now have our episodes ad-free for the patrons. That's something we're doing. So check that out. And we have our merch store with lots of fun holiday inspired designs. So check that out. And thanks again, Matt. We really appreciate it. And
You're welcome.
And we'll talk to y'all later. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.